So far, all of our work in developing device types and profiles has been done in the Profile Editor, which is a separate utility from our project in Studio. Our last step is to export these profiles so we can use them in a project. To do this, I'll navigate to Set Up Projects and click Add Edit as always. This dialog allows me to create a project in Profile Editor. A project in this context is just a collection of profiles and a few other settings. I am going to create my airport project here, but instead of new, I'm going to create from. There is a built-in project called Global Default that includes a handful of common profiles which I'm going to use in my project. If you don't need these, you can always start from scratch with a new project. Instead of typing in my project name, I'll click the magnifying glass here and select my project from this list of projects in Studio. This binds my Profile Editor project to Studio so I can export directly from one to the other. Below this, I can select a units template that will automatically convert between different units based on their tags. We'll look at this in another video. At the bottom, I will double-click on my custom profile to add it to my project. Because I use the project name in the profile, any profiles I create for this project will be together and easy to find. Note the Add as Default checkbox at the bottom. Depending upon the profile, I may need to enable functional addressing or add this profile to another physical device to concentrate the data. We'll look at this in other videos. Once I've selected all my profiles, I'll save and exit. Normally, I can just click Export Project Now, but I want to show you a few more features here. First, on my Selected Device Profiles tab, if I make any changes to my profiles, I will need to refresh the tags in the project with this button. Under Customize Tag Names, I can globally change the display name for a tag in my project if a site has a different naming convention. Finally, there are some other parameters that can be added for the project as a whole. These are uncommon, and we'll discuss those as they come up. Lastly, I may want to change where I'm exporting my file. Under File Export, I can select PowerSCADA Operation to export to my project in Studio, Profile Editor to create a file that can be imported back into another machine, or an IEC 61850 SCL file. I'll also check Profile Editor so I can keep a copy of that with my project. Now I can click Export Project. The dialog tells me the export was successful, and there are two files I'm concerned with. Most importantly, I'll go back to Studio and click Open in Explorer to go to my project folder. Profile Editor has created this equipment.profiles file, which is an XML file containing everything we just set up in Profile Editor. This is the only file used by the I/O Device Manager to add devices to my project. If I need to, say, add tags to my custom meter, I'll add the tags to my device type, refresh my profile, and export to my project. Until I export this file, no changes will take effect. In fact, if there are already devices in my database, there's another step in I/O Device Manager, which we'll see later. Also, in Profile Editor, the folder icon will take me to my project export in Profile Editor. There is a copy of equipment.profiles in the Profile Wizard folder, but bear in mind that this is not the file used in Studio. Profile Editor Export contains a .pls file, which can be imported back into Profile Editor. I like to keep a copy of this in my project folder so it stays with the project backup. Otherwise, if you lose this, there's not a good way to restore your Profile Editor project. This concludes the normal Profile Editor workflow. I have a couple of videos on other topics in this tool, or you can continue on to create your devices in the project using the I/O Device Manager. Either way, thank you.